man, is it making this difficult. I think I'm gonna start with, or finish this up, and then we'll continue on with the next bout of politics we have, and it's from the national, actually CBC. My bad. I don't usually do the CBC, so that's gonna be fun. So let me know if anybody else is watching in the chat, and I will call you guys out if you'd like. Oh gosh. And he's down. Well, that was easy. There's the one thing I don't like about this Diamond game is they're too easy to beat. Yeah. Alright, let's get back into the politics of this stuff. So. Okay, I do not have that. From the CBC News, because I'm all backed up with everything, this one was done... Oh, just today. Interesting. Okay, well, they say Jagmeet Singh says NDP should cancel F-35 contract and build fighter jets in Canada. Well, he's half right. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a clause in the documents that we signed to buy these F-35s that say if we back out, then we have to pay a fine or something like that. I'm usually documents have that, but I mean, I can't be assured of that. And I'm pretty sure Jagmeet Singh can't be assured of that either. But of course the NDP would say this because they have no concept of money. So let me know what you guys think in the chat about this. So let's continue on. They say the NDP leader Jagmeet Singh announced Sunday his party would cancel Canada's contract to buy US-built F-35s and look for companies to build fighter jets in Canada, a proposal that some defense experts says could come from steep costs. Well, yes, we should be building more of these military, everything in Canada to promote more jobs, and we have the tools here, so why not? Take a page out of the United States' book and bring it back here, bring industry back to Canada. But unfortunately, as they're going to say in here, it's a little late to stop buying these F-35s. But, and what Jagmeet says as a reason as well is ridiculous. So he goes on to say, purchasing from the United States at this time is not in our national security interest. Singh told reporters just days after Defense Minister Bill Blair said Canada is reconsidering its F-35 purchase amid tensions with Washington. Of course, Minister Bill Blair would say that we need these planes. Okay, it's not an if, ands, or buts. We need these planes. Oh, do we have... wonder if my chat's not scrolling. Oh no. They go on to say, let's buy fighter jets where the company will build those... What? Let's buy fighter jets where the company will build those jets in Canada, creating jobs... Okay, I guess. Creating jobs, but also a national security of no... Geez, people, write this way better. Of knowing that we can build and we can maintain those fighter jets in our own country. Okay. Man, that is terrible. But now, as US President Donald Trump ramps up its threats to annex Canada. Yeah, annex Canada. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Because before, with all these tariffs, I thought that he's just being facetious. But he hasn't. He's taken them off and on. So, I mean, I think he's 90% joking, 10% serious. By economic force, there's been a groundswell of support among Canadians to unalive the $19 billion purchase and look elsewhere for aircraft. I don't know where that support's coming from. I have no clue. I've never heard anybody say that we shouldn't buy them. Unless you don't know how contracts work. Because they say here, however, canceling the contract entirely is not as easy as it sounds. According to Philippe Legasse, a Carleton University associate professor. He says there would be penalties for canceling a contract outright, on top of having to rethink or halt infrastructure development and training for the F-35s. So, okay, so they're saying that Canadians are getting training for these F-35s, or at least that's what I'm reading right here, to maintain it. And so if we don't buy them, then it's pretty much useless. Like I said, the NDP have no concept of money. They just think it grows from trees. He goes on to say, to put an end to that contract now without having some other plan in place would be fairly difficult for the Canadian forces, including the CF-18 fleet, which is really at the end of its life. And I think that CF-18, those were the ones that we got from Australia that like barely worked. I think. Don't quote me on that though. In a news release, the NDP said it would launch new bidding competition that prioritizes Canadian jobs and independence from the United States. Now, that's not bad. I think we should build as much stuff as we can here at home. But at least for the military's sake, the contracts that we have right now, we should just continue on with. Or we should abide by. But any future contracts, we should try at least to keep them in Canada and keep our military military building in Canada. So if we're going to make planes, if we're going to make tanks, if we're going to make AI, if we're going to make everything, keep it in Canada, keep it in Canadian jobs, keep Canadians building it, build the industry that we need and the resources that we need in Canada. And don't buy it from outside Canada. Now, if you can purchase the intellectual property, which apparently they're trying to do from a Swedish company called Saab, because they say here that it promised assembly of its Gripen finder in Canada, and it would transfer that intellectual property. So that would be good. Now, when they say it would also allow the aircraft to be maintained in Canada, it kind of sounds ridiculous that the F-35 wouldn't be able to be maintained in Canada if we bought them. What would we do when they're half broken? We'd land them in the United States or a US, we'd have to bring somebody from the US over to Canada and maintain them. I mean, like I said, don't quote me on this because I don't really know how that works or how they wrote these documents out, but that sounds quite stupid to me. But even this guy says, that's not how it works in law. You would need to set up another program and reconsider how you're going to do this. And as the NDP said, they will build F-35s in Canada, but then reiterated saying they'd build jets in Canada, which, whatever, I guess. It's... I mean, we know what the NDP meant when they said build F-35s in Canada. They also said in its release, the NDP said if Canada buys F-35s from the US, that government will retain complete control. So they're talking about like a black box sort of thing of the software and hardware upgrades needed to keep operating the plane, which the party says is a strategic vulnerability. Rebecca Miller, Lockheed Martin's director of global media relations, addressed online misinformation that suggested the F-35s have a kill switch that the US could order that they use. I think that sounds ridiculous as well. Could you imagine if a company actually had that and used it? They'd never, ever, ever, ever do business outside of the US again. Like, nobody would trust them at all. Now, yes, maybe they'd have to pay. Nah, to export, I mean, they're a private company, so to export their property, no, I think they could probably sell their upgrades outside of the US with no restrictions. Anyways, this wouldn't be a problem if we just built our own planes. They go on to say, Lagasse said the US could probably prevent upgrades or new parts, but noted the entire armed forces has this problem. The reality is the Canadian and American militaries are interconnected as a trading relationship. He says we're over-indexing on one plane when it's a conversation about the overall capability, which is true. Remember, Canada complained so much when they weren't part of the Canadian government complained so much when they weren't part of the nuclear submarine deal that the United States made with Britain, Australia, and I think New Zealand. And now the NDP is freaking out about planes that we already have a contract with the US. It's ridiculous. I think they just flip-flop for whatever sounds good. But what do you guys think down below? Do you think it's going to be a... Well, let me know in the chat what you guys think about whether we should buy these planes or not buy these planes in the chat. I think we should, because we already signed the documents for them. We already said we're going to buy them. And like this guy said, there's going to be consequences, probably financial consequences, if we do not purchase them. Kind of like a cancellation fee, I assume. And so that would be awesome for that private company. They'd get to keep the planes and sell them somewhere else, and also get a cancellation fee. So I think the I mean, who was it? Lockheed Martin did it? Is that who they said it was? Yeah, Lockheed Martin. They probably hope that Canada cancels it because they would be like, well, that's awesome. We get a cancellation fee, most likely, or some sort of fee or something. And we get to keep the planes to sell to somebody else. So, whoop whoop. Let's see if we got something else. I think that's about it. Tremendous consumer carbon price. So yeah, I see that we got 3 people left in the watching right now. Let me know if you would like me to continue on playing my game here. I'll play a little bit more. I have a little bit left to go, but I'm pretty caught up on all my politics now. So let me know. If not, I will probably log off pretty soon. Man, Cynthia talks a lot. No. So it was funny, the first portion of this game I was in, I was in the gym battling trainers, and my controls would just not work, and now they're fine, of course. Pretty much the last part of my stream, it's been working fine. And of course, you can't get away from this, so that's freaking awesome. So yeah, I see we got some people watching. Hit up the chat with whatever you guys want. Like I said, I'm pretty much caught up. So what do you want to talk about? Probably keep this thing on for another 12-ish minutes. If not, I will just continue on playing. Let me know if you guys like this sort of overlay, I don't know, politics with Pokemon as well, or is it kind of annoying? Or politics with gaming. Oops, that's not good. Dang it. Well, I was hoping to just run, but yeah, kind of missed the ball on that one. finished her up right there. Do. Hopefully I have revived some. Oh, yes. Nice. Ugh. Nope. Yeah, I think I should probably call it a day. It seems like my... Oh, there we go. Never mind. Ba-ba-ba. Let's move that. I'll deal with them. Well, Ooh. It's always nice to know your Pokemon are holding berries. Wow, it's gonna be a Haunter against Haunter. Let's see how this goes. Now my Haunter uses Psychic and totally destroys his. There we go. Oh no. Who could have expected this? That's why I never got why they made Ghastly, Gengar, and Haunter Ghost and Poison. And usually against Kadabras, you could just, well, and especially Alakazam, you could just use a physical attack and pretty much destroy them. Even though Kadabra, from, I think, what would have it been? Until Heart Gold, Kadabra was the best Pokemon to get because you could just destroy half of the game. Until you got to, what was her name? The gym leader with Miltank. If you guys know in the chat below, if you're millennials, well, no, that's before, like Gen X. Who was called in the Johto League who had Miltank, who pretty much knew rollout and could just wipe the floor with your whole team. I mean, if you had Kadabra, you pretty much had a little bit of a chance, but still with that, that's the only Pokemon I remember that even stood a chance against that Miltank. But dang it, I think this is just grass, so I think we can do it with Psychic. The one thing I despise about Pokemon Diamond, though, is you cannot get really any fire Pokemon except for Infernape and Ponyta, which is ridiculous in a Pokemon game, or before you end it. And the trainers are so weak. Oy. I mean, I'm not complaining that you can go through the game fast, but, you know. Such is life. So yeah, for the next 5 minutes, it's going to be talking Pokemon, so it's going to be nerd moment. Just warning y'all. See, for the whole game, the only fire Pokemon I've ever seen is Ponyta. And it's slow. In the anime, Ponyta was one of the fastest Pokemon out there, except for Rapidash, which is its evolved form. It was a whole thing. Alright, let's see if I can zoom through this. At least have a Rapidash, man. Have some pride in your training skills. Nope, it's a Ponyta. Ugh. And I don't get that about this game either. They come out with some things where you're in a battle with trainers and it says, oh, your Pokemon want this, your Pokemon want that. At first, when I tried it out, I thought like all of them were over leveled, so I was worried that they wouldn't listen to me, and that's why. But I mean, I don't know. It's weird. The Pokemon Company kind of just weirded this game out, I think. But that's just me. I'm just a guy who plays games and reads politics on the internet. What do I know? And kind of a Pokemon nerd. But that's just me. I think that's being a little bit dramatic with Hex, but don't think Nightshade would be able to one-hit KO it. Come on, please have a Sea King. At least, like I said, have some pride in a trainer. Nope. Oops. See, this is exactly why I want to do actual professional Pokemon tournaments and all of this, is because sometimes the games just get like they're extremely fun. Let's be honest, or I think they're extremely fun, but stuff like this, I mean, the trainers aren't that strong. A lot of the games nowadays, you don't have to grind anymore. You don't. Well, Pokemon Violet, it's pretty good because you do have to do that, but the actual game, it's just, yeah, grinding's pointless. Which a lot of Pokemon VGC players don't like. But, that's kind of my thing. Yeah. What in the world? No, 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 no. Escape. Oh. I hate the controls for this too. Oh well. Oof, it's 10 o'clock already. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna call her. Just a second. I think, guys, I'm gonna call her. Thanks for watching the stream. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. I don't know if I'm going to be putting out a video tomorrow morning. I have work to do, so unfortunately that will have to be done before. But I'll try to have a video out by end of the day tomorrow, or at least Tuesday morning, depending on what happens. So I'll keep this video up like I usually do. Let me know what you guys think about how it went in the comments down below, and let me know if you want to see more of these streams in the future, because I'll do those up as well. And if you have any recommendations on different stories, or like different articles with different politics and stuff like that, I'll definitely look into them and see if I can bring them onto the stream next time. So I want to thank Two Flips for the donation. You are awesome. And other than that, have a good day, guys.